Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. It's Big Will Style. It's been a minute, but I'm here to clear some air. Life's been changing. Now, I can't go into detail, but if you know, now you know. We're approaching the ending point of 2025. And I'm going to keep it a buck with everybody. It's been unique. You could say it's been evolving. For the first time in 7 years, my life is on the up and up. The question people ask me now is, what about your personal life? It's been decent. People saying, well, what about the content? What about the IG lives? Instagram, I am not saying this in a mean way, but Instagram does not allow me, yours truly, the greatest style, to post on there anymore. So I tell everybody who wants to watch my videos, the only way you can find me is you're gonna have to find me on here, YouTube. Well, people say, oh, you need to be releasing more. No, I don't. In case you haven't figured it out, ladies and gentlemen, I'm kind of a big deal. I'm a public figure. And being a public figure, I kind of have to tweak the things I want to say. Because I work for a corporation. In case y'all haven't figured it out, that's just the way it is. People say, is there a point where life stops? I don't know. People say, what's your advice on life? There's a lot of advices I could give. For the one who is transitioning from high school to real life, it's very simple. Life does not care how much money you have. Life does not care what your problems are. The only thing life cares about is what you're going to do with it. Me, I'm not a go out and club person. People say, so what you saw in Florida was in Florida. I have a reputation I have to protect. And I say this to people. I'm very blessed to be in the opportunity I am in, and I will not do anything to jeopardize it. Back to the subject at hand. People ask me about success. What is it? Success is an ego thing. There, I said it. In 26 years, you never get complacent with success. And that's where people make a mistake. I said to my cousin, who you may or may not know, I won't say his name publicly, but he knows he's a big fan of Big Willy Style and the boys he hangs around with. I think I'm a celebrity, but he asked me, he said, when we were down in Florida, when we were talking about life, he asked me, is there a difference between you knowing people and you being friends of famous people? And I said to him, yes. I said, because of people knowing who I am, there is a notion that I'm a successful person. I am successful because of X, Y, and Z. If I wasn't successful, I would just be a normal guy. When you're friends with people who are successful like you, it makes the talking points more relevant. Just because I'm successful doesn't mean I'm gonna just let success. No, there's a fine line between ambition and overcompensating. And my chat is open, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear, if you want, and I am all for letting your opinions be heard. Let me know what you think. I don't sit and when I do people say, well, authentically there's subjects that I just don't talk about, and I'm not going to talk about it. People have said, is there a part of you that misses the sport of bowling? And this is a conversation I didn't like. When people ask me, I kind of have to sit my drink down and say, it's not that I hate that conversation. It's I don't know how to gauge that conversation. And then the follow up point is, will we ever see you on the bowling lanes? No, no. And that's not me being hard headed. It's if I wanted, I could lace my shoes up, but because I don't need to, people will say that my career is this, my career is that. Let them talk, because I tell people, you're the reason I'm still relevant in an irrelevant situation. I've been out of the game for almost a decade, if you can believe that. I've almost been out for a decade. 2018, 2017. People don't understand. And there's people out there that will never understand why I walked away. And that's fine. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Because one of the boys who I bowled against actually came to me and was ready to do the same thing that I did. And he asked me, when do you make that decision to walk away? And I said, for me, it was easy. I did what I had to do. I accomplished what I wanted to do. At the end of the journey, do you want to be a shell of what you used to be? If and my answer to people is, when you get towards the end of any athletic career, if you have more in the tank, empty the tank. And people say, what about you? I had emptied the tank. The tank was empty. I had nothing else to prove. I had nothing else to give. I had nothing else to go after. You skip forward 2 years. Normandy calls me. They texted me, we want to offer you a coaching position. And people say, you're a fool for turning it down. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I was not fool. I knew if I had rejoined, something was missing. And people said, "What is that something?" I can say openly now. I needed somebody to push. When you look at youth bowling now, and I'm not in it because I am no longer in it. But what I hear, and people say, if you could lace them up one more time against these kids of today, would you? I don't know. I don't know because the kids of my generation, and they know who they are. I could start listing them. They had the intangibles. When you build a youth team or youth bowling at a bowling alley, you gotta have a foundation. I was the foundation. When you start bringing in talent, you don't plead with them to come here. You sit and you kind of watch, like a GM. If I could get this ball from this ball alley, what's it gonna? How is this gonna improve the stock of the program? People say, what would have happened if you were a coach? I would kind of look at it that same way. This talent is good, but what would set him over the edge or her over the edge in terms of being successful? I'll be first and foremost saying I was not a successful bowler. I just was good, but I was not greatness. People say, well, how come you won 60 trophies? Okay, there's talent, but then there's a lot of hard work. Don't get it twisted. I was good, but I wasn't great. I would, if I was great, I would have had hundreds of trophies, but I didn't. I ended with 40 trophies on the dot. It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. People, and this conversation I have with people have pleaded with me over the years that you need to unretire and come back. The toothpaste cannot be put back in the tube. That's what I've told people. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. And I'm going to be honest, and this is off the record. I have no shame in saying this. Me walking away or retiring from bowling probably made me the biggest hero, because for the first time, people start seeing, well, if William is gone, what is the youth program going to look like? And I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. They were right. What would it look like? For the first time in 12 years, me not being there. I'll say this. Life has its challenges. Keep pushing forward.